A very good afternoon and welcome to the midday news on Rajya Sabha television, where we get you the biggest developing news stories at the top of one. I'm Aishwarya Kapoor. Let us start with the headlines. 45 teachers from across the country honoured for their commendable work in improving education quality in schools. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu lauds the contribution of winners of the National Teachers Awards 2017 in shaping the destiny of the nation. Activists arrested in connection with the Bhima Koregaon violence case not held for dissenting opinion, says Maharashtra Police in Supreme Court, adds there is a convincing evidence against them. CBI carries out searches at around 40 locations in Tamil Nadu, including residence of State Health Minister and DG Police. In connection with the Gutka scam, 250 crore scam came to light in July 2017. US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo and Defense Secretary Jim Mattis are headed to India for the inaugural 2+2 dialogue. India's defense engagement with Russia and crude oil import from Iran to be part of the talks, but not primary focus, says Pompeo ahead of his arrival. And one of Japan's major airports, Kansai International Airport, cut off following Typhoon Jebi. Stranded passengers being ferried to safety. At least 10 people killed and hundreds injured in the most powerful storm in 25 years. Today is National Teachers' Day, the day marked to honour the contribution of teachers to the society. It is also the birth anniversary of former President of India, Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan, who was a staunch believer of value-based education, a scholar and above all a teacher. President Ramnath Kovind extended heartiest greetings to all the teachers in the country. He said, "May our great gurus contribute in helping and guiding us in building a nation and a world full of wisdom, peace and harmony." And on the occasion today, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu took to Twitter to pay homage to Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan. He said that his contribution to the field of education is incomparable. He said that teachers are nation builders who shape the caliber and character of children. Prime Minister Modi also took to Twitter to laud the teaching community. He said that teachers play a vital role shaping the young minds and building the nation.
5 सितंबर भारत के पूर्व राष्ट्रपति डॉक्टर सर्वपल्ली राधाकृष्णन जी का जन्मदिन है। वे राष्ट्रपति थे, लेकिन जीवन भर अपने आप को एक शिक्षक के रूप में ही वो प्रस्तुत करते थे। अच्छा शिक्षक वही होता है जिसके भीतर का छात्र कभी मरता नहीं है। मेरे माँ बाप के बाद यही तो हैं जिसके साथ मैं खुलकर के बातें कर सकता हूँ। ये जो गुरु शिष्य संबंध है, जिसमें गुरु अपना जीवन खपा देते हैं, मैं उनको नमन करता हूं।
And on the occasion, 45 teachers were honoured with the National Teachers Award at a function at Vigyan Bhavan in the national capital. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu gave away the awards. This year, the HRD Ministry revised the guidelines for the selection of teachers for the national awards. Under the revised guidelines, all regular teachers were eligible to apply and the minimum 15 years of service had been done away with. The teachers got the chance to directly apply and nominate themselves for the award. Self-nomination from teachers were invited online.
Those teachers in all education institutions spread across the country have a sacred mission to transform our country's classrooms into centers of instructional excellence. It is an opportunity that comes only to a select few. It is a mission that has a lasting impact on young minds and hearts, which are going to shape our country's destiny in the years to come. Friends, as I told you, that we should all focus on our mother tongue, on our culture, on our Jivana Paddhati, on our values, on our ethics, and then try to slowly change the mindset of our people. Let us focus on enhancing the knowledge. Education is not for employment alone. Education is for enhancement of knowledge. Education is for enlightenment. Education is for empowerment. And lastly, education is for employment. But unfortunately, now we are teaching students only about employment and all.
NHRD Minister Prakash Javadekar listed out the government's initiative of Samagra Shiksha at the event. Samagra Shiksha extends from preschool to class 12th and is prepared with the broader goal of improving school effectiveness by providing equal opportunities for learning.
प्री स्कूल से 12वीं तक पूरे स्कूल शिक्षा का समग्रता से विचार करने वाली ये समग्र शिक्षा है। इसमें 3 पहल का केवल 3 वाक्यों में उल्लेख करूंगा। एक है पढ़े भारत बढ़े भारत। 15 लाख सरकारी स्कूलों को हर वर्ष हम 5,000 से 20,000 जितना स्कूल का साइज होगा उसके अनुसार हर वर्ष में 5,000 से 20,000 रुपए की ग्रांट देंगे, जिससे लाइब्रेरी बनेगी, बच्चे पढ़ेंगे। पढ़े भारत बढ़े भारत। खेले भारत खिले भारत। तो ये खेले भारत के लिए उसमें स्कीपिंग रोप से लेकर फुटबॉल से लेकर वॉलीबॉल से लेकर कुछ लेना है तो पैसे कहाँ हैं? हम 15 लाख सरकारी स्कूलों को हर साल 5,000 रुपए से 20,000 रुपए स्पोर्ट्स इक्विपमेंट लेने के लिए दिया है सभी राज्यों को। जो गरीब छात्राएं हैं, बच्चियां हैं, जहां 5वीं तक का स्कूल है, अब हमने एक निर्णय किया है इसी समग्र शिक्षा में, उसके लिए पैसे दे रहे। 5वीं तक जहां स्कूल है वो 8वीं तक बने, जहां 8वीं तक है वो 10वीं तक बने, जहां 10वीं तक है वो 12वीं तक बने। तो अपग्रेडेशन ऑफ स्कूल भी होगा। और जो मार्जिनलाइज सेक्शन की छात्राएं थी कि जहां 5वीं तक स्कूल है तो फिर शिक्षा बंद हो जाती थी, तो दूसरे गांव में 6ठी से 8वीं तक उनके लिए कस्तूरबा गांधी विद्यालय होते थे। अब हम कस्तूरबा गांधी विद्यालय 8वीं से बजाय 12वीं तक चलाएंगे। 6ठी से 12वीं तक बेटी बचाओ, बेटी पढ़ाओ, बेटी बढ़ाओ।
शिक्षक समुदाय के ऊपर ही देश का भविष्य निर्भर करता है। आप सभी राष्ट्र के निर्माता हैं, वास्तविक राष्ट्र निर्माता हैं। जैसा राष्ट्र अब आप बनाना चाहेंगे वैसा ही राष्ट्र आगे आने वाले दिनों में बनेगा। शिक्षकों का दायित्व बहुत ही बड़ा दायित्व है। सीमा पर जूझने वाले जो योद्धा हैं उनसे भी ऊंचा स्थान आपका है।
And earlier on Tuesday, Prime Minister Narendra Modi interacted with the winners of the National Teachers Awards at his residence. The Prime Minister commended the dedication of the teachers towards their profession, which he said has improved the quality of education in the country. He also urged the awardees to work towards bringing out the inherent strength of the students, especially those from poor and rural background. And during the interaction, the awardees narrated inspirational stories in transforming their schools into centers of learning and excellence.
सर, मेरे को तो ये लगता है कि ये चयन प्रक्रिया जो हुआ है ये बहुत बेहतर है और ये बहुत पहले से हो जाना था। इसमें अभी जितने भी 45 टीचर हैं उनको मैं 45 रत्न के रूप में मानता हूँ। कारण इसके पीछे ये है कि ये एक ट्रांसपेरेंसी है टोटल ऑनलाइन। हमने खुद ही अपना नॉमिनेशन किया है।
हमने एज ए हेडमास्टर सबसे पहले ये देखा कि कैसे गर्ल्स एजुकेशन को बढ़ाया जाए। इस पर हमने हेडमास्टर के रूप में पहले कम्युनिटी मोबिलाइजेशन किया। उससे कम्युनिटी के जो सबसे निचले तबके के लोग थे, वहाँ अधिकतर मजदूर किस्म के लोग थे, तो उन लोगों से संपर्क किया। संपर्क करने से ये हुआ कि उनका विश्वास हमें जगा और छात्राओं को वो भेजना शुरू किए।
ईच एंड एवरी पर्सन आर वेरी एनर्जेटिक और सभी ने अपने क्षेत्र में यूनिक अलग ही काम किया है। और यदि इस सारे काम को हाईलाइट किया जाए तो मुझे लगता है एक प्रेरणा पूरे समाज और देश को मिलेगी, जिसमें लोग कुछ और आगे आके काम करना चाहेंगे।
And among the recipients of the award is also Basruddin Khan from Haryana. Now, Basruddin's dedication has resulted in a school dropout rate in Haryana's Mewat district to be decreased, and Khan believes that his mission is to educate as many students as possible and even takes night classes for the weak students. Our correspondent Panchanan Mishra spoke exclusively to Basruddin, who also got a special mention from Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
उस माहौल को और उस वातावरण को बदलने के लिए मैंने नाइट क्लास का डिसीजन लिया और मैंने 2006-07 तक ये सिस्टम लगातार जारी रहा, क्योंकि 5 सितंबर 95 को मैं सिरौली स्कूल में ज्वाइन किया, मैंने गवर्नमेंट हाई स्कूल सिरौली। और वहाँ की कहानी ये थी कि वहाँ केवल सन 47 से लेकर के 5 सितंबर 95 तक ऑन रिकॉर्ड में बात कर रहा हूँ कि केवल एक लड़की मैट्रिक पास थी, कोई लड़की नहीं थी। लेकिन 2013 में जब मैं वहाँ से आया हूँ तो 22 लड़कियाँ वहाँ पर जॉब कर रही हैं और लगभग 53-54 लड़कियाँ +2 पास आउट हैं, जो कि एक रिकॉर्ड की बात है। मैंने लोगों को मोटिवेट किया था।
तो ये कैसे होता है, आप सुबह बच्चों को पढ़ाते हैं, शाम को फिर पढ़ाने पहुंच जाते हैं, कई बार तो आप उनके ऊपर सरप्राइज चेक करते हैं, रेड भी मार देते हैं जाके कि पढ़ रहे हैं कि नहीं, वो कैसे होता है?
सर, बड़ी दिलचस्प कहानियाँ हैं, क्योंकि मेरा मिशन ही सिर्फ पढ़ाना, काम करना। वो मैं 7 बजे सुबह में जाता हूँ, 7 से 8 बजे तक स्पोर्ट्स का 1 घंटा कराता हूँ। जो बच्चे स्पोर्ट्स में होते हैं बिना बोर्ड की क्लास के, उनको मैं कबड्डी और हैंडबॉल का गेम कराता हूँ। इसके बाद स्कूल टाइम में स्कूल पीरियड लगते हैं, 8 पीरियड लेता हूँ। और उसके बाद में जो कमज़ोर बच्चे होते हैं उनको एक्स्ट्रा क्लास लेता हूँ 2:30 से 3:30 बजे तक। इसके बाद आधा घंटा का रेस्ट करता हूँ, मैं भी करता हूँ, बच्चे भी करते हैं। 4 से 6 बजे तक फिर सपोर्ट्स कराता हूँ, फिर नाइट क्लास का, क्योंकि जब तक मैं 16 घंटा 17 घंटा काम नहीं करता, कि आप देखिए मेरी उम्र देखिए, मैं 55 साल में शुरू हूँ, लेकिन मैं जो 20 साल का लड़के से दौड़ा लीजिए।
And on to some other news now. Vice President and Rajya Sabha Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu has pushed for reforms in the reservation system. In an interview to news agency PTI, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu said that there is an unrest and unease in the sections of communities entitled to quota benefits, as they believe that only a few among them are getting quota benefits. Stressing that reservation should not be tinkered with, he called for equitable and proportional representation of different castes based on population. Vice President Naidu also asserted that reservation that has been guaranteed should be there. The ruling NDA government had appointed a commission last year to examine the subcategorization of almost 5,000 centers, castes, in the central list of OBCs. This is to ensure more equitable distribution of reservations in central government jobs and educational institutions.
There is a need to move towards ensuring proportional representation, inclusive development of all groups, especially those which have till now has been underrepresented. Mr. Prime Minister, former Prime Ministers and all the parliamentarians sitting here, my appeal to everybody is that we must see to it that the benefits of reservation reach each and every section. Each and every section, for whatever legislation you want or changes you want to bring in, this should be done. Because people's aspirations are very high, expectations are high, communication is there, people are seeing what is happening and all. So I hope the backward class, the scheduled caste, people of different communities, sub-communities, they also get justice in the course of time, and we all move in that direction.
In an interview on the occasion of completing 1 year in office, the Vice President said that restoring the prestige of the upper house is his immediate priority. He called for reframing of rules to take cases of erring members and suggested stricter provisions in the anti-defection law. He said that he handled 2 key events in his 1-year tenure that included the disqualification of Sharad Yadav and a notice by the Congress-led opposition to impeach Chief Justice of India Deepak Mishra, which he rejected within days of receiving it. The government has approved a proposal to increase the wages of artisans by over 36%. The MSME Ministry has approved a proposal by the Khadi and Village Industries Commission to increase the wages from 5.5 rupees per hank to 7.5 rupees per hank. The proposal will come into effect from 15th of August. With the increase in wages, an artisan will now earn 202 rupees per day, inclusive of incentives if he makes 20 hanks in a day. Presently, most of the artisans spin more than 20 hanks per day. In midday news, we'll take a very short break. We'll be back with more news. Stay tuned. Welcome back. On to the other top story of the day. The CBI today carried out searches at around 40 locations in Tamil Nadu, including at the residences of a state's health minister and the Director General of Police in connection with a gutka scam. They said that searches are spread across the state but did not reveal exact locations at this stage, saying that it may hamper the ongoing operations. The residences of Health Minister C. Vijaya Bhaskar and DGP T.K. Rajendran, besides that of a former senior police officials, among others, are being searched. The scam came to light on 8th of July last year when income tax sleuths raided the godown offices and residences of a pan masala and gutka manufacturer in Tamil Nadu who had been facing charges of tax evasion to the tune of 250 crore rupees. And the Maharashtra police today filed a response in the Supreme Court on the arrest of activists in connection with the Bhima Koregaon violence case. In its response, the police has said that the 5 activists were not held for dissenting opinion, but the arrests were based on evidence linking them with banned CPI Maoist. The police has accused the activists of planning to carry out violence, a planned ambush against the country and security forces. Last month, police had arrested 5 activists for alleged links with the Maoists. They were booked under IPC Section 153A, which relates to promoting enmity between different groups on grounds of religion, race, place of birth or residence, language, and committing acts prejudicial to the maintenance of harmony. The 15th Finance Commission, led by Chairman N.K. Singh, will be making a 4-day visit to Tamil Nadu from today. The Commission will hold meetings with the Chief Minister, ministers and other state officials in Chennai. Detailed presentations will be made on the finances of the state government. Ahead of the meeting with the Chief Minister, the Commission will also meet the economists of the region to understand the macroeconomic issues and peculiar issues specific to the state. The Commission will also hold meetings with the leaders of various political parties, representatives of trade and industry, urban local bodies and Panchayati Raj institutions to understand the issues concerning the state. It will be the second South Indian state that the Commission will be visiting after it visited Kerala. And history repeated itself in the Supreme Court today as an all-women bench comprising Justices R. Bhanumati and Indira Banerjee is holding court today. This is only the second time after 2013 that an all-women bench is assembling in the apex court. The Supreme Court, for the first time in its history, has 3 sitting women judges. Since its inception in 1950, the Supreme Court never had more than 2 sitting women judges. Justice Indira Banerjee is only the 8th woman to become the Supreme Court judge. The 3 women justices are among the 25 judges of the top court, which has a sanctioned strength of 31 judges. News from Kerala now, which has been put on high alert for the next 3 weeks following more deaths due to leptospirosis or the rat fever. Now, cases of various kinds of fevers have been reported in the state after floodwaters receded. 7 deaths due to rat fever have been reported on Tuesday, taking the total death toll in the last 3 days alone to 19. State Health Minister K.K. Shailaja chaired an emergency meeting and said that the public need not panic as the situation is under control. The Health Minister has also directed to form Arogya Sena covering 20 houses in all the panchayats to ensure the chlorination of water sources in the respective limits. According to the Kerala Health Services, there were 115 confirmed cases of leptospirosis and 20 dengue cases. 38 people with suspected symptoms of dengue are undergoing treatment. Meanwhile, the state government has decided to do away with the state-sponsored festivals for this entire year and utilize these funds for the rehabilitation work. And in the state of Uttar Pradesh, 18 more people have been killed in rain-related mishaps, taking the death toll to 44 since Saturday night. The latest deaths took place since Monday night, while 15 others were injured. And according to official reports, besides 44 persons losing their lives, 36 others were reportedly injured in different parts of the state during this period. The ongoing spell of heavy rainfall has disrupted life in various parts of the state, and the Met Department has forecast heavy rains at isolated places today as well. A Central Water Commission report said that all the major rivers in the state were in a state of spate, including River Ganga. Meanwhile, in Arunachal Pradesh, Chief Minister Pema Khandu drew the attention of the Home Ministry to the unprecedented simultaneous drought and flood situations in different areas of the Siang River basin. In a letter to Union Home Minister Rajnath Singh, he sought an assessment of the situation by an interministerial team for further action and precautionary measures. And in Nagaland, an interministerial central team visited the state on Tuesday to assess the damages caused by flood and landslides in the state. Nagaland has been experiencing heavy rainfall since July, which caused floods and landslides, which claimed 12 lives. Meanwhile, in Odisha, an alert has been issued in 26 out of 30 districts due to heavy rainfall. U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo and Defense Secretary James Mattis will be arriving in Delhi today for the first ever 2+2 talks between India and the U.S. India and the U.S. will solidify their global strategic partnership in the inaugural 2+2 dialogue on Thursday. Both the sides will focus on significantly boosting military ties and ironing out differences over India's defense engagement with Russia and crude oil import from Iran. External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj and Defence Minister Nirmala Sitharaman will hold the twice-postponed talks with the visiting leaders. Chairman of the US Joint Chief of Staff will also be part of the US's delegation. And ahead of his departure to India, Mike Pompeo said that India buying a missile defense system from Russia and oil from Iran would be part of the 2+2 talks, but not the talks' primary focus. Big story coming in from Japan, where at least 10 people have been killed and more than 300 others have been injured in the country's deadliest storm in 25 years. The typhoon Jebi, which slammed into western Japan on Tuesday, inundated the main international airport, disrupting over 700 flights and land travel as well. There is no indication yet when the airport will open. Thousands of people have been ordered to evacuate their homes around Japan's second major city, Osaka, amid the warnings of high waves, flooding and mudslides. More than 1.6 million households remain without power in Osaka, Kyoto and 4 nearby prefectures until late Tuesday night. Jebi, reportedly the strongest typhoon to hit Japan since 1993, first made landfall in Japan's southwestern island of Shinkou around noon on Tuesday and then again at around 2 p.m. near Kobe. The storm is expected to weaken as it moves northwards. And now all the sporting action news from the US Open, where world number 1 and defending US champion Rafael Nadal is through to the semi-final. Rafael Nadal defeated a 9th seed Dominic Thiem in a 5-set thriller which lasted 4 hours and 48 minutes. Meanwhile, defending champion Sloane Stephens has been knocked out of the US Open in the quarterfinals. The American 3rd seed lost in straight sets to Latvia's A. Sevastova. Also, Serena Williams has advanced to the semi-final of the women's singles event. Eyeing her first major Grand Slam title since becoming a mother last September, Serena Williams beat Karolina Pliskova 6-4, 6-3 in straight sets. Sevastova will face Serena Williams in the first Grand Slam semi-final on Thursday. And that's it from me and my team in this edition of Midday News. Thanks for watching.